Hello everyone, my name is Taylor Uekert and I work in the Reisner lab of the Department of Chemistry. Today I'll be sharing my research on using sunlight to convert plastic waste into hydrogen fuel. I'd like to start by asking you to spend a couple moments looking around and thinking about what sort of plastic products you might throw away today. Maybe there's some food packaging or an old pen or an empty soda bottle. Well, all of those items quickly add up, and globally, we produce 78 million tons of plastic each year. That's roughly how much 8,000 Eiffel Towers weigh. Now, many of you will probably have seen Blue Planet 2 or other programs that discuss the enormous impact of plastic pollution, so it might not come as a surprise that of that generated plastic, 40% of it is landfilled, and another 32% leaks directly into the environment. But what might surprise you is that although 14% of all plastic worldwide is collected for recycling, only 2% actually ends up being recycled back into the original product. Clearly, for a number of reasons, existing plastic management techniques are not working. And this is where my research comes in. I work on a process called photoreforming, which uses sunlight and a photocatalyst, which is simply a material that can make a chemical reaction happen faster, to simultaneously break down plastic waste and generate hydrogen. Now, why hydrogen, you may be wondering? Well, hydrogen has many applications in the chemical and fertilizer industries and could potentially serve as a fuel and heating source in the near future. So to give a bit more detail about what happens during this quite simple photoreforming process, it begins when sunlight shines upon a photocatalyst, which in my case is an environmentally friendly material called carbon nitride. That sunlight gives the electrons in the photocatalyst enough energy to break down water into hydrogen gas. The vacancies remaining in the photocatalyst then drive the breakdown of plastic into smaller organic molecules. There's basically two chemical reactions happening simultaneously. Both of them need to occur, and this enables us not only to generate a valuable fuel, but also to mitigate waste that might be difficult to dispose of otherwise. Now, this all sounds great, but how well does photoreforming actually work? To give you an example, this graph simply shows the amount of hydrogen produced per gram of plastic over the course of 50 hours of sunlight. We specifically use polar plastics, such as polylactic acid or PLA, which is a semi-biodegradable polymer that a lot of vegware that you might have seen is made of, as well as polyethylene terephthalate or PET, which is most commonly found in drink bottles and food packaging and accounts for 10% of global plastic waste. After about a week, we're able to convert between 6 and 7% of these plastics into hydrogen, as well as small organic molecules like formate and acetate. Perhaps more importantly, it turns out that photoreforming works not just with pure plastics, but also with products that cannot be recycled currently. These include polyester microfibers, which are found in your synthetic clothing and are too small to recycle, and oil-contaminated PET, which can't be recycled due to the food contamination. We can also look beyond plastic alone and generate hydrogen from different types of food and mixed municipal waste. So this starts to give us some unique advantages in terms of versatility in comparison to other recycling processes. A graph is one thing, but to give you more of a visual, here's a video of a piece of a PET water bottle. It's immersed in a solution containing our photocatalyst, and when we shine light on it, you can start to see the hydrogen bubbles forming. And this is real time, it's not sped up at all. So this is exactly what a real reaction in the lab would look like. Moving forward, we have also mobilized our photocatalyst on a glass panel, which is important for upscaling and real-world processes in which immobilization will make it much easier for you to reuse the photocatalyst over multiple cycles. We showed that these immobilized photocatalyst panels could produce hydrogen from a range of plastics and mixed wastes, and could be upscaled from that vial in the previous video, which was only 1 centimeter in diameter, to this flow reactor shown in the picture, which has an area of 25 square centimeters. The panels also turn out to be crucial for generating hydrogen from dark, real-world waste that would otherwise block light from reaching the photocatalyst. This graph here shows that we can generate hydrogen under both ideal conditions, so maximal sunlight and super pure water, and more realistic conditions, significantly lower sunlight, more similar to what we'd have here in the UK, and seawater. This is a really crucial step when we're thinking about the overall sustainability and economic viability of a commercial scale photoreforming setup. So far, I've given you a taste of what photoreforming can accomplish, but I think that an important question to ask is whether this technology is actually as green as it sounds. To answer this, I modeled a hypothetical photoreforming pilot plant, which is shown in this top scheme on the right. I could then calculate the carbon footprint, or how many greenhouse gases are emitted per a certain amount of hydrogen produced. Basically, what this showed us was that with some improvements in efficiency, we can produce hydrogen with a lower environmental impact than existing technologies like gasification or pyrolysis. Photoreforming also emits 40% fewer greenhouse gases than disposing of waste in a landfill. From an economic perspective, there are still many things to improve, such as our photocatalyst efficiencies and lifetimes. It's still quite a slow process. But we are currently investigating all of these topics and more in the Reisner lab. We are also exploring the commercialization potential of photoreforming and hopefully bringing it closer to real-world application within the next 10 years or so. To sum up, photoreforming is a simple process that only requires 4 components: waste, water, sunlight, and a photocatalyst to generate hydrogen fuel and organic chemicals. If you'd like to learn more, do please check out our group's research website or watch our video produced by Cambridge University. Also, feel free to connect by email or on Twitter. We're always very happy to answer any questions or listen to your suggestions about how we can convert more of that plastic in our day-to-day lives into valuable fuels. Thank you.